Bom fim de semana. Hoje é sexta. Sextou. Sextou e é bom a gente começar essa sexta-feira com informações quentes, porque aqui tá frio. Sorry. Here is cold. And then it's good to start the weekend with good information, hot information. How bread, hot bread. And today, why yes or not to meat. Then Ramatis, I posted about Dave Duatemburo, a great scientist and an environmentalist. Sorry, a great environmentalist that made people made a little video about him said, where he said we are 96% mammals and 4% these mammals in the world, they are us, all of us. Pay attention. And 4%, only 4 is the rest animals. Inside this 4%, 70% is birds, and chickens is 7%. That we are eating 70% from 4% animals. This 4% don't will give food to 96%. For this happen, various quantities, enormous football fields, we must exist to give food to cows and bulls and chicken and pigs. Is this the humanity have custom to consume? This is the most same animals that are in slaughterhouse is not sufficient, because this have slaughterhouse open all day, cause no, there's great market, but don't have a space to all animals. If we transform the forests and fields to give food to animals and plants, vegetables, we will lose oxygen. We will be concentrating, don't we'll have more lakes or sweet water to drink. Don't we'll have so much any other animals important, so much important to this ecosystem, maintain alive. And finally, we will that in this. in this system of food. I think God don't will let this happen. It's still so much of the humans don't have importance to this. But all bad we will make to nature will return to us. Because our conscience, the conscience is something so strong in us. And the conscience don't say lie to us. Because these people ignore inside the truth. The truth are inside of each one of us. Okay? Then this is the problem, material problem of food is this. Now the spiritual problem too, that was talking about this Ramatis and 60 more or less years ago. He is talking about it. The part of alcoholism and smoking is bit, but the part that Ramatis talk about meat is great. Is have more matter than others. The refusal to kill the animal or bird is no longer a protest against the existence of the slaughterhouse and charqueadas. Shark is a type of meat made post so much salt in this and let this in vials and to lose the water, lose the humidity, and conserve more. I think charqueadas, Ramatis refer at this to this process to put salt in this meat to conserve out of refrigerator. And the creators then a question from a medium Ercílio Maes. To refusal to kill the animal or bird is no longer a protest against the existence of the slaughterhouse and charqueadas. Doesn't this prove possession of a soul with purely spiritual improvement? Ramatis answer. The creators that kill the bird or the animal in the back of the backyard, or that get their salary in the work of slaughterhouses, may be primitive souls who don't evaluate the degree of their spiritual responsibility with the community of the physical world. But those who flee at the no, but those who flee at the cruel uh, place of the massacre of the inferior brother, well demonstrate understands the perversity of the act and recognize it as unfair and barbaric. Consequently, they ratify the knowledge of their responsibility before God refusing to witness what in their mind means severe accusation to the spirit. Let me correct something. Consequently, they ratify the knowledge of their responsibility before God, refusing to witness what in their mind means severe accusation to the spirit. They confirm, therefore, that they are aware of the iniquity of killing the defenseless and innocent animal. It's obvious that if they then devour it, cook it, or roast it, even greater it becomes wild. Because the same act they condemn with the deliberate absence is the same act they condemn with the deliberate absence is justified personally and fully at the time of the ingestion of the remains of the animal. In other words, is an hypocrisy. You run to see the cruelty in an animal, but you return to eat the remains of the animal. It's the same. You see other rob money. Oh no, I don't make this. They rob, but the other come to you and give money and you accept. You are accomplice. Okay, it's the same. You are a robber too. It's this. Don't have other way to see this. The pseudopious fugitives are, by way, ordinary cooperators of the same gloomy scenes of the animal's sacrifice. The meat consumer is also nothing more than a shareholder and promoter of the proliferation of butters, charqueadas, and slaughterhouses. It's obviously, if you buy this, you are contributing to this exist. Your code provides an in the delinquents of your world severe penalties. Your code in this planet provides in the delinquents of your world severe penalties for both the executor and the principal executor and the principal of the crimes of mental co-participation, because the responsibility digests their spoils, become co-participant, participating, co-participating. The act, the killing, the killing, there's the killing, although they do so at a distance from the place of sacrifice. They are in reality anonymous cooperator of the meat industry, since they encourage the dynamism of slaughter by consuming the flesh that maintains the funeral institution of slaughterhouses and the unjust killings of those whom God also created for spiritual ascension. In Book of spirits say, don't kill the animals. So earn. When these animals start burn, to burn, you kill them. Months more late or immediately, don't make this. Let the animal have a maturation. Let all the animals you don't need don't kill. But still today, this big portion of animals, 4%, to 96% of humans, how 4% will give food to all this? We must change our habits, cause cancer, cause other sicks, and to preserve too. These animals have rights too to be here, to evolve. Ours is the same. And who don't understand it don't have importance. Will respond, will answer to God. Why don't stimulate others to change his form to conserve this body? Not have a great pleasure. Oh, the most great pleasure in this planet is food, is it. We must change this. The most pleasure are in we control inside us. But Ramatis will explain what happened with various levels of person attached in meat. Eat meat. They will see, they will say, and you will see in what degree you are in this type of food. And continue. We believe that many deified beings who have already lived in our world also fed on meat, isn't it? They are saying the question of the medium is, we believe that many saints that passed in this planet, who have already lived in our world, also fed on meat, isn't it? And Ramatis answered, really, some saints of the Catholic ideology, I think is this, are disembodied spirits considered today of high category, were able to reach heaven despite eating meat. And Chico Xavier said this, don't have importance, eat meat or not, if you are not a good person. This is right too. Ramatis too say this. But the bearer of true spiritual consciousness, that is the one who, in addition to love, already knows why he loves and why he should love, should not feed on animal meat. This is our reality too. The effectively sanctified soul unconditionally repudiates any act that produces this uncommon. Let me correct this word. Unconditionally repudiate any act that produces the suffering of others. The effectively sanctified soul unconditionally repudiates any act that produces the suffering of others. It always abdicates itself and its uh, desires in favor of other beings. Enjoyments. It always abdicates itself and its enjoyments in favor of other beings, becoming a living law of continuous benefit, and in obedience to this beneficial benef- beneficial law resembles the force that directs the growth of the seed. In obedience to this a living law of continuous benefit, and in obedience to this beneficial law, have a beneficial law, resembles the force that directs the growth of the seed within within the art, feeds and fortifies but not devours, feeds and fortifies but not devours. Then he claimed attention to this, the force that make the seeds by a law of development that have in all things in universe. In obedience to this beneficial law resembles the force that directs the growth of beneficial no of the seed within the earth, feeds and fortifies but not devours. The saints have this energy. They protect, and they is inoffensive to all things around them, around him or her, or around it. The saint have uh, a generosity, and he is the saint. He is for all beings inoffensive, and with generosity they are protectors. When I was eating meat, I feel this, and I stop when I feel the necessity to be inoffensive to all creatures, including animals that I love. All animals, all type of animals I love. Why? Uh, why am I with necessity to feed this? Have other type of food, and And we can give to our body vitamins, mineral salts, proteins, water, with an infinitude of food that we can plant in our garden. We can buy this in market and in other places that plant this. Isn't necessary survive with meat, because not all meat, uh, uh, eat meat, not cows. They eat vegetables in garden. They eat what? Gram. I don't know is this in English. In Portuguese is grama. They eat this vegetables. And we that have more intelligence will eat this enormous animal. For what? If not this enormous animal, it needs to be enormous. Can you explain this? We are attached in habits from cover. We must start to think about it. Let me see if this is function. But the really some sense are disembodied spirits considered today of high category were able to reach heaven despite eating meat. But Ramatis continue explaining. Uh, the spiritual consciousness becomes a source of such generosity that every expression of life in the world understands and esteems it for its protection and harmlessness. And harmlessness. Protection and harmlessness. To know that you know that Francis of Assisi, uh, uh, do you know that Francis of Assisi spoke to the wolves, and the wolves listened as if they were harmless lambs. Jesus extended his blessed hand, and the most ferocious snakes quieted in sweet and lay. Sri Maharshi, an Indian, the saint of India, when in divine samadhi, is an state or ritual, I don't know, was sucked by spiders who slept in their hands, or else caressed by the bees who licked his faces. Some Hindu mystics let themselves be covered with poisonous insects and aggressive bees who fly over their skin with the same delicacy with which they do on the corollas of the flowers. The ancient Esenius initiates dived in the wild forest in order to feed the ferocious animals that were victims of storms and cataclysms. Countless creatures boast of never having been bitten by bees, harmful insects, dogs, or snakes. They are usually vegetarian people who does keep their love for animals fully alive. Love animals fully alive. Angelized souls who already, who have already come to really understand the reason for the life of the spirit in the world in ways, who have a magnanimous heart and unable to witness the suffering of animals, also don't devour their entrails. Don't devour. Don't devour their entrails in the same way as the true friends of birds don't trap them in even golden cages. It's illegal for man to destroy a valuable heritage that God entrusts to him. It's illegal for man to destroy a valuable heritage that God entrusts to him for a temporary administration on earth. It fulfills to protect him from the flower. It fulfills to protect him temporary. Uh, it fulfills to protect him from the flower. No, it fulfills to him protect the flower that adorns the edge of the paths to the unfortunate scattered animal that only asks for a little bread and friendship. We are to animal the God. They don't understand God, not us, but for the animal we are gods. Is this they see in us? I will return to read this again. It's illegal for man to destroy a valuable heritage that God entrusts to him, to them, for a temporary administration. Temporary administration will that and don't will take nothing this. Temporary administrations on earth. It fulfills to him protect the simple flower that adorns the edge of the paths to the unfortunate scattered animal that only asks for a little bread and friendship. The animal devourer, no matter how evangelized he is still disturbed of the spiritual order in matter, justify himself as he wants, but the persistence in feeding on animal spoils proves that he has not yet adapted completely to the true goals of the Creator. The animals have the same right of us that we are, that we have. They have the same rights that we have to be in this planet in evolution. People have people that chicken babies, little chickens, baby kitchens. people for export of death. This is part of death. Kill animals for nothing, only to they name this sport. This is kill, a kill from the nature they are making. People want to make this. I believe that in these people that animal go to eat these people was this in past a person that like kill only to kill. Now animals will kill them because the magnetism of this acts in past kill to kill only. And animals will kill to have food to him, not human beings that kill only to kill. I think the law of cause and effect is this. You will create this killed energy inside you and will attract the same. Not now, but in future. Wait for this. This don't disappear. No one retired this. No one doctor. Nor good spirits can make this. Only if you start to save other lives. You start to make contrary this. Yes, you can let this how homeopathy a big problem. If you sincerely start to help animals, to help people, to save lives of animals and people, this is the antidote to this. Antidote is make contrary what you make a great error, a big error. Start to act contrary what you made so bad. Is the only antidote. Love is the antidote. Start to love what before you hate it. Is this the only spiritual medicine capable to turn you free? Because this will be inside you. Until you start to make contrary with your heart, sincerely. Only this. It's illegal for men to destroy a valuable heritage that God entrusts to him for a temporary administration on it fulfills to protect to him, it fulfills to him protect the simple flower that adorns the edge of the path to the unfortunate scattered animal that only asks for a little bread and friendship. This is so cruel. Imagine an animal with this expectative be dead. People retired to them live to develop this energy inside the animal. Spiritual energy will evolve inside the animal. Because this we that have conscience must take care. The intention to that animals. We are not more in time of men of comfort that don't have options, was a so dark period of the spirit, but it's a start in development of the spirit, but so hard. It's not more this time. See around how much industries of food. We must turn this better with more vitamins, with more that will satiate more the body. Body don't necessitate food, meat, and only fruits, only vegetables. The need of body is vitamins, proteins, mineral salts, water. It's this that body are asking, and you will translate this with your desire. Is an error. This is a big error. This, and sometimes are great error. And um, the animal the animal devourer. No matter how evangelized he is still a disturber of the spiritual order in matter. Justify himself as he wants, but the persistent in feeding on animal spoils proves that he has not yet adapted completely to the true goals of the Creator. Because in the Spirit's book, they said it's necessary to animal alive to develop his spiritual evolution. How you necessity this. They said this. Question: what is the psychophysical reaction that the person should feel under the impact of the magnetic astral fluid that is released from pig's meat? Now we will understand more what happened with various levels of the spiritual of the spirit of a person named Buddy, the level of his spirit. Ramatis answer. The ask is what is the psychophysical reaction? And Ramatis answer. The reaction varies in accordance with the individual type. The common man and too conditional on the intake of pork will feel even more, oh, so much words wrong, even more strengthened and energetically instigated for the relationship life, as well as heavy and rock engine works better with a coarser fuel. See this? People that eat pork, pig, the reactions vary in accordance with the individual type. The common man and too conditional on the intake of pork, people that eat so much this meat, will feel even more strengthened and energetically instigated for the relationship life, as well as heavy and rogue engine works better with a coarser fuel. Is a soul weight per spirit, with great weight. This spirit is not a level, and pay attention. Men who are choleric, irascible, and uncontrolled in their emotions, who are easily enslaved to the impulses of animal instinct, are commonly fanatical worshippers of loud tables and greatly fond of barbecues. Then, who eat meat with those quantity will be ever a soul weight with so great weight in a spirit. Weightly, I don't know is the word is right. A so great with great weightly in his soul. This type of devourer of meat, meat devourer is this way. Then I don't criticize. And Ramatis don't say is good, is bad. They want this, they only are describe this type of person that eat this meat so the greatly quantity. They will feel so much strengthened and energetically instigate for the relationship life. Then they will instigate to animals life. So a form so and with animalized is this is a person that have a great weight in his soul and so great attached in this planet, in material things. What this is bad or good? The lower vital magnetism, which they continuously incorporate, the lower vital magnetism, lower vital magnetism, which they continuously incorporate into their physical and astral organism, because this person, human being, have two astral organism. Is this the difference of the animal? Animal have a principle spirituality, an energetic spirituality. Animal have this and need to develop this, but human being is more complexity with more complexity, body, spiritual and material is more complexity. And we have conscience. When animal kill other animal, they don't ask to him, oh, I get the other to eat, to alimentate, to feed me, and the other that no, animal never will have this type of dot. Never, because they don't feel the law of cause and effect. They are out of this. Human being, no. Human being cause inside the shock all time. He made good things and bad things, high things or low things. It's the same. The lower fetal magnetism, which they continuously incorporate into their physical and astral organism, greatly activates the centers of the animal command. is the same to return in a period of animality. Is this animality without sense of conscience? But we are not this way. We can hide the conscious for a bit time, but conscious will appear and will appear and will appear. No one can destruct this. Is a genuinely God that put this inside us. No one escapes. All of us are by down of this law of cause and effect. No one are out of this. This is so much better than a police that you can hide of police in other land, isn't it? Don't have this in the spiritual plane. Don't have. The law of vitomagnetism, which they continuously incorporate into their physical and astral organism, greatly activates the center of the animal command, but harms their angelic nature in metabolism for the absorption to the psychic sensitivity and spiritual conditions of carnivores, but harms their angelic nature in metabolism for the absorption to the psychic sensitivity and spiritual condition of carnivores. A simple piece of pork, pay attention in this final of this matter. A simple piece of pig or pork, which would be enough to disturb the delicate perispirit of a Gandhi or a Francis of Assisi, could accelerate the uncontrolled vitality of a Nero or a Heliogabus. I don't know what is Heliogabus, but I think is the same a person with personality, sick personality of a Nero that put fire no city only to pleasure. That all people with fire, alive getting fire. Is this a simple piece of pork? I will read again. A simple piece of pork, which would be enough to disturb the delicate perispirit of a Gandhi or a Francis of Assisi, could accelerate the uncontrolled vitality of a Nero or a Heliogabus. Is this the comparison so clear? Who love a loud table and eat meat without without make bad in aspects to him is an a gross spirit. Still is a so gross spirit that don't gross with we are with a gross cloth you don't feel nothing. We can put spines and you will don't feel nothing, but a body suit your body of Francis of Assisi and or Gandhi, this would be disturbed a lot then with with simple piece of meat of pork, or could accelerate the uncontrolled vitality of a sick mind. How narrow or Eniogamus. Is this the comparison? Is this is not another? Is good? Is bad? To people that are so gross spirit, much meat will must this person so strong and linked in relationship and how a log engine works better with a coarser fuel. It's perfectly. I like Ramatis because they can show to us with these examples a pallid but right impression of the results to eat this, to use this drug, to smoke, to to drink, and all this will take the spirit in easily enslaved to these acts and will suffer a lot when we'll go out of this planet because no one eternity material world, no one is eternal here. Then we'll have a great pain. How much you are attached in things, how much it will be difficult you go. You will suffer pain really in mind, in spiritual body, in all ways we will suffer a lot. If you don't um, don't have uh, uh, don't have no one don't want have work with all this matter, oh, let this go, I will suffer. No, don't have problem. And you return and suffer, return and suffer, return. You will be in the circle. One day you will be tired of this. And if you don't want more this, and you are thinking interested, be so much level, feel level your spirit, because you are tired to these groceries. Groceries, no, is a wrong word. In your language, groceries is another thing. If you don't want to feel more this weight to law, law, astral, spiritual conditions, so low, you are tired to feel this, you will search detachment. Don't suffer more to lose things. Don't suffer more to change your food to things. No, not so gross, not so low to your stomach. You start to change your mind to don't will think bad things. Don't will you will transform your mind in positivity. This is another feeling to a spirit. Okay, then is this the chapter talking. It's not a chapter. Is three questions. I ever get three questions because the answer of Ramatis is so extensive. Then is better. I only get three three questions by the life. I hope you can understand. I think don't have mystery, have logic. In no universe, we will need logical happens. What you are more attached in this world, you will suffer more to go out of this world. How much you are detached in this life, in this planet, more easy will be go out of here. In all things, God will respect the level of the spirit. We choose. God don't give bad things to people that don't obey. No, you choose, and you will be happy or suffering with your choose. Is the only way to learn how to you will make your ascension. The fact is, all spirits will continue in ascension. The spirit will choose stop. God will wait you. Then you are tired to be stopping. You start to continue. Is an ascension ever to happiness, to be more next, more happy without so much problems. We will be free time by time to all these problems. Material problems will disappear one day. It's marvelous. Imagine never more have preoccupation with food, never more have preoccupation to place to live, never more to have preoccupation in work, because you will be free to work in all things you like, helping people continue working and creating and learning things that we don't imagine that exist in other planets. God is ever abundance in our senses. Is this we must have in focal in our mind. Happiness, learning, evolve, and with prosperity. This is the way that God gives to us. If we don't be with great uh, revolt, don't if we don't be against God, all things will so good and with happiness. How much you grow, how much will grow your happiness. Thank you, your presence. And I wait you in the next live. The next live is today. I will talk about Genesis in Portuguese and English. Until the next.